Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to the second episode of The Limelight. Today I have with me my good friend Sadia Hussain. She's a homemaker and she's running an online business called the Rayan Crafts. Assalamu alaikum Sadia, how are you doing today?
Walaikum assalam, Fari. I am fine, Alhamdulillah.
Sadia, I want our listeners to know about your personal life.
Fari, I am mother of a 2-year-old son. His name is Rayan. And at the moment, I'm not doing any job. I'm just a homemaker. But at the same time, I'm trying to run my online craft store. So that's pretty much handling a 2-year-old boy is quite, a handsome task at the moment.
Yes, I understand. Especially the toddler ones are pretty difficult to handle.
And yes, he's a one of a hyperactive.
Mashallah. Okay, and what motivated you to start the craft stores?
Well, actually, if I say a little bit of crafting germs or creative germs are in my genes. My dad is an architect, and my brother is also an architect. So right from the start, I used to make things from scrap, from junk. But obviously at that time, my mother always used to say to just focus on your studies. Then she used to say focus on your career. Then I was doing my job. But when I was pregnant, but that was the time when I had a lot of time for myself. At that time, I just thought that I guess this is the time I have all to myself, and just clicked and started doing this work. People started appreciating it. This was my story.
Wow. Actually, I think when you have a lot of time, ideas start pouring into you like crazy.
Yeah, actually, first when I started doing this craft things, I was doing my job. So I used to make things for my friends, for my family, give them gifts on their anniversaries, on their weddings. Then everybody started appreciating, wow, what a wonderful thing you have made. Why don't you do something? And I thought, yes, someday, inshallah, I will do. But at the moment, I was so occupied with my work that I didn't have any time. And my mom obviously used to pull my leg, Sadia, focus on your career, don't waste time. This is nothing. But after my marriage, my husband said, no, do whatever you want. If this makes you feel, happy and comfortable, just go for it. Go for whatever you want in life. So I guess that's what I did.
Yes, that's a very good thing. When you have the support of your family and especially if your husband, and when they are pushing you forward to do something which you love, that is an amazing thing.
Yeah, actually, my mother also supported me, but she didn't want for me to go out of my, first line.
Right.
Yeah, she appreciated. She said, "Yes, it's good, but it's not a career. You have studied. You are a professional person. So why aren't you focusing your efforts on your career line?"
Okay, Sadia, tell me what is your biggest strength?
As I said earlier, my biggest strength is my husband, of course, because handling a toddler, making craft things is such a challenging. Both jobs are so challenging and demanding. But he simply don't mind at all. Sometimes my food is not prepared. Sometimes my house is upside down. Sometimes Rayan is so cranky. I have a lot of work. I used to work all night. Don't mind at all. He just say, just take care of your health and rest. You do whatever you want. So I guess that's my biggest strength. And secondly, the strength is one should always be motivated. Other people also motivates me. When I see other people doing in crafting field, in the beginning I didn't knew there were so many crafters out there. I have very limited resources. Once when I get into it, and then I felt, oh my God, there's a world full of crafters everywhere. So there are a couple of ladies who inspires me a lot, whom I follow a lot. They're not from here, although one is from USA, and just both of them are from USA. So I watch them, their blogs and the videos. They inspired me a lot. Lately, I get to know there are a lot of crafters in Karachi as well. Then when I started following them, then I came to know, oh my God, there's so much talent everywhere, in India as well. I came here and I said, you don't have any crafters. But then again, when I went into this field again, then I noticed, oh, there are many crafters here as well.
Yes, when we start looking out for help and inspiration, like in Google or YouTube, there are hundreds of people with lots of talent, and that is really incredible, and it gives us inspiration. And as you said crafters. There are so many crafters, and you got to learn from them. That's really amazing.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, Sada, next question. What is the greatest challenge or failure you came across in life?
A major challenge or hindrance, you say, difficulty, you say, was right from the start when I started doing this. At that time, I didn't have any resources, your materials. I used to do all my things from. I usually do literally. I pick up garbage from broken things, broken clips, broken paper, torn paper. Everything I used to put them in a box, and then I used to make things out of them. So most things were hand cut. I didn't have proper tools. So the outcome obviously was not that professional. The early times, for inspiration, I used to buy magazines or crafting magazines. And I thought, oh my God, how would I ever buy things from Canada? How would I ever buy things from USA? These crafters have so advanced things. What's the big deal? How you have so many tools? What the fun? But later on, when I was exposed to crafters and the crafting world, you would say, then I got all the necessary. Still, I don't have all the tools, but yet, yes, I do have basic tools at least. So these tools have, have much improved my work. This is one of the major challenge. And the second is I'm sometimes very poor at managing.
Okay.
I'm very poor at time management at some point. So okay, I will do it next time. I'll do it now. I'll do after 1 hour. I have a week for my project. Then when I got only 1 or 2 days left, then I think, oh my God, I'm in deep trouble right now. So time management is a little bit of my weakness. Plus, too much knowledge is also very dangerous. Sometimes I'm bombarded with ideas. I am literally bombarded with ideas. And when I sit down to make something, I am lost. Right now, believe me, before you started the interview, before you called me,
yes,
I take out the canvas. I was trying to make a mixed media canvas. And I had so many ideas. I started off with one thing, then I added the other material, then I thought, no, this layout will go other way around. Then I thought, no, oh my God, that is something very good. I should go with that.
okay.
So at the end, I had 4 ideas and I am doing nothing. They're just lying down.
Okay.
And probably I will just say, leave it and I will do something else.
Okay.
So sometimes too many cooks spoils the broth. There's too many ideas also for your project.
I get that. As you said, you get bombarded with ideas. Even I feel that sometimes when I go to sleep or when I'm about to sleep, I get bombarded with different kind of ideas, and I want to do that the next day. But then I feel I might lose the idea. So what I do is I always keep a notepad with me with a pen, and I start scribbling on that my different ideas and what I want to do, so that I don't lose them out. Later on, it might be helpful for me. I do that, so I think that might help you later on. And as you said, you used to do the first craft with literal scraps and pieces of glass or paper. I think That shows your talent to utilize what is just mere junk and make something beautiful. I think that is really an incredible thing.
Yes. Actually, I remember I made the first scrapbook for my niece
Mhm.
when she was born, and I didn't had any crafting papers at that time. I wasn't exposed to any crafting shops, so I literally cut out things from magazine,
Uh-huh.
and I made I made a scrapbook from taking out this. For example, I cut a camera
Oh,
from a magazine and I played and I cut the side of the lens and put her picture in the lens. So basic idea was even now people when they are making scrapbook they also do this, but they
okay.
have the special dyes and everything and cutouts, fancy cutouts. But at that time I just cut out from camera from a magazine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Utilizing what is near to you and doing incredible stuff. That is kind of a challenge as well as you are getting the best out of you and showing to others.
Yeah.
Okay, Sadia, one main question is that things you're making with crafts for the clients, the deadlines, did your family get affected by this?
Sometimes they are, sometimes they do get affected. Although I make sure that I do all my projects at night when Rayan is asleep.
Okay.
Because often people ask me, your child is so young, how do you take out your time to do all this stuff? We can't do it. I said, when he's awake, for sure, I cannot do anything. But when he sleeps, two times, I know, at day and at night.
Okay.
And these times are key times when I can work. But other than that, also when I am using my mobile for inspiration or I'm doing my checking my page or managing my page, my work, housework does get affected. So, but yes, you can say it does, but not that much, but it does.
Okay.
Because when you are doing a professional job,
Mm-hmm.
you are totally out. But when you are at home, your task becomes double.
Yes.
You are at home, you have to manage the home and you have to do your work at the same time. You will do your work when you are a professional lady. I have worked for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was in professional line for 12 years. I left my job in 2010.
Okay.
At that time also I used to work, but I used to do the housework as well, but that was one at a time.
Right.
Managing two things at the same time, this is very challenging.
Yes, it will come as the biggest challenge. Sadia, anytime have you come across any client which didn't like, or they said this is not what we wanted as a craft or a scrap? Any story you have?
Yes, it was one time, it was last year.
Okay.
I was in Pakistan when a lady contacted me. She said she wants a birthday theme of cars. I said, okay. Then she said, wait, my son's birthday has already passed. She's my sister, you talk to her. And she wants a car themed birthday banner. I talked to her and she said, okay, I did the designing. And like this was the Photoshop, the illustrator designing, not the craft thing.
Okay.
I did illustrator designing.
Mhm.
So I designed the banner of car theme, placed An's picture. It was his fourth or fifth birthday, I guess. And she said, yeah, can you print? Although I was in Pakistan at that time, I asked my husband, he was in UAE. I asked him, if I send you the file, can you get it print and delivered? He said, yes, of course, I will do it. I said, okay. Make sure to specify all the things, printed details as well. I specified printing material. She said, okay. And when the was delivered, she called, she gave so many messages. And she said, what have you delivered? This is not what I asked. And I said, why? What happened? This is not the thing I asked. This is not the material. This is not the banner I wanted. And I said, why? What happened? I delivered what I agreed. So I took out all the previous chats of mine, and I then showed her again the chat. I said, look, this is material I told you about, and you agreed on it. I didn't know how should I know how should I know it was this material. Could have told me earlier, but for me, if I can print on this material, I can get it print on other material as well. Why would I, put my reputation on the line for just a mere of material change? For me, obviously, client business is word of good mouth is more important than see Dharam's profit. I didn't meant to, meant to do anything, and now I am stuck. She said, I'm also stuck. I can't do anything. How would I do? I cannot do change right now because your son's birthday was in 2 hours.
Okay.
Already she told me late, and it was a weekend. If you are doing crafting things or handmade, you yourself is making, you can always do something. But when we are dependent on market, then if it's closed, it's closed.
Exactly.
So I said, what could I say? I'm sorry, I didn't meant to. I just delivered what I promised. She said, yes, I guess it was a misunderstanding. I guess, yes, that's it. So then I was like, oh my God, I would be very careful next time. I should make things more clearer at the time of booking an order, because I don't like people unhappy. And believe me, I paid out of my pocket that project. The printing itself was expensive than what I quoted. But then still it wasn't a big deal for me. The major thing was that I should get a happy client.
Yes, right, exactly. I think we get different kinds of clients and different specification, and we have to do a lot of research or detailing in what they want in particular. If something goes wrong, then we lose our reputation as well as the time we put into that and money, and we don't want to get a bad feedback. Now, Sadia, give us our listeners some tips to lime up their inspiration.
Well, first of all, manage your time. Manage your time, manage your time. Secondly, I would say, if you want your dreams to come true, please do it. Just don't think, do it. You have to turn your dreams into reality, into actions. Only then things will work. And you have to take risk. You have to. Without risk, there is no business. If you want to do any business, small, medium, large, you have to take.
Fabulous! A buzzing advice given by Sadia. If you want to do something in life, take that risk and for sure manage your time wisely. Because if you win, you will always be happy. If you lose, you will be wise with the experience you had. So, lovelies, take that risk. Do it. Just do it. Wow, I'm all geared up. Now, Sadia, if our listeners want to contact you or see your online craft store, where will they be able to check that out?
Well, my online store is on Facebook. They can always contact me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com Rayan Crafts, RAYYANCRAFTS, Rayan Crafts. Here they can find lots of items which I make. I do scrapbooks, I do shadow boxes, I do memory boxes, I do mini albums, canvas art, media canvas art, I do mix altered bottles, Mod Podge, beige, drawer signs, frames, home decor items, gifts for him and her on any occasion, birthday showers, bridal showers, anniversaries, New Year, party supplies, you name it, all things included in the online craft store. Even if they want any supplies, they can also get crafting supplies over there.
Okay, basically, you also have the store with where you sell the item.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's great. Sadia, it was really lovely to have you here and get your interview. It's amazing, I must say. And I hope our listeners have got lots of tips and tricks and inspiration from you. Listeners, do click on that like button if you have liked our interview, and also do comment as your comments are precious to us. Thank you all. Allah Hafiz.